What's going on YouTube? Today we're taking a look at Mobvoi's latest Ticwatch Pro 5 and it just received a nice discount. This is now available for about 300 bucks. Check my link down below or I can even save you guys a little bit more with my coupon code. But at 300 bucks, is this the WearOs device for you? Is the Ticwatch Pro 5 something I'd recommend you guys pick up? And one of the ways that Mobvoi has always stood out from the crowd is by giving us this dual layer technology screen. And it's been updated this time around to give us a lot more useful information. You can also change the color of the screen from about 18 different colors, but if we take a look at this battery saving screen here, you get to see information like your time, you see your steps, you see your heart rate, as well as your connection status and battery life right at the bottom there. And that's something much improved from the Ticwatch Pro 3 GPS, which basically just showed you your time and your steps. The dual layer technology screen also has different pages. If you want to take a quick reading of your heart rate, for example, you don't have to activate your screen and use all of those pixels to display that beautiful 1.4-inch panel. You can just quickly take a heart rate monitor on your wrist using that dual layer screen. You can also see things like your calories, and there's also a built-in compass if you're outdoors. So it is more useful this time around. For those of you that would prefer not to save on that battery, but you like your favorite watch face and you like that watch face is always on screen, you can disable that second layer panel. So all you'd have to do is go into the display settings there, turn off the always on ultra low power display, and then when you go back to your favorite watch face, you can get the always on display from your watch face. Now of course, if you disable that second screen, your battery life is going to be about the 1 to 2 day range. So again, it really depends on what you need. If you want a little bit of a fancier watch face when you're out and about with friends, that's one way to do it. There's been a lot of improvements on the Ticwatch Pro 5, including this digital crown right on the side. That's very useful and now makes the Ticwatch seem like a more traditional timepiece on your wrist and less like an enthusiast WearOs device. Mobvoi has usually given us some pretty cool and functional and comfortable bands, but this year that just didn't happen. This band kind of feels cheap, but it definitely isn't all that comfortable. I'm a little bit disappointed with 24mm bands personally. While I like the larger, wider type of look, I think 22mm is just the standard and there's a lot of 22mm bands out there. But thankfully you can swap these out and get some pretty cool bands, even a nice metal band from Strapsco. Buy two and get one free with my link down in the description below. So when you pick up your Ticwatch Pro 5, definitely swap out some of the bands. You'll be very happy that you did. Now again, if we take a look at the overall design, I think they've done a nice job of giving us a more traditional looking watch. Again, the old one was a little bit more of an enthusiast, more of a look I have a smartwatch on my wrist type of look, but the Ticwatch Pro 5 gives us a nice redefined look on our wrist. And again, using the digital crown, it's a lot easier to navigate through the different screens just by scrolling on this crown on the side. If you live in the Northeast where it's cold or it's rainy or anything like that, having a crown that you can use with gloves on makes navigating through the watch very, very easy. And I think it looks really nice. It's not a huge puck. It's actually pretty slim. Right next to the digital crown, you do have a recents button that you can press and get access to your most recently opened applications. Now, unfortunately, this button is not customizable. I would like to see this customizable to kind of open up whatever app I wanted to open up. But double clicking on it will give you access to your card. So if you do use NFC mobile payments, you can quickly just double tap on that button there. Double clicking on the crown will take you back to your last used application. Single clicking it will take you back to the home screen. And then again, single clicking it will give you access to your app drawer. Now both of these buttons will not give you access to the Google Assistant. That is missing on the Ticwatch Pro 5. And when I reached out to Mobvoi, they actually told me they're unsure if it's even going to come to this watch. But as always, you buy a watch for what's on it today. You don't buy a watch for what might or might not be promised tomorrow. The Ticwatch Pro 3 GPS still has not get updated. It's supposed to get updated sometime later on in Q3. But again, you're buying a watch today, use it today, enjoy it today. Don't wait for tomorrow's updates because those updates might never come. So in terms of the buttons on the side here, you do get that recents button. And you do get the digital crown, which I think is a huge, huge improvement. Thanks to having WearOs 3.5 on here, you get a whole bunch of applications, including a whole bunch of Mobvoi's own applications here. You get a lot of Tic applications. I think it's excessive personally. I think you can really build one application that includes all of these Tic apps that are now on this watch separately. It's just a little bit overwhelming for a lot of people. I think they need to go back to the drawing board and give us a more modern looking suite. It just kind of looks outdated to me. It kind of looks like nothing has really been defined or refined when it comes to their applications. You also have the Google Play Store, so you can download a lot of applications, a lot of watch faces, etc., etc. And yes, WhatsApp is now finally on your wrist. I think all messaging platforms should be Wear compatible. That's one of the reasons why you buy a smartwatch, is to not open up your phone when you get a little bit of a notification on your wrist. With 2 GB of RAM and 32 gigabytes of storage, you can download a lot of watch faces and a lot of applications. When you turn on the 1.43-inch panel on the Ticwatch Pro 5, this is where WearOs comes to life. And it is running the latest version, 3.5 at the moment. And I think this is a really nice vibrant screen in my opinion. You have different pages as well. Again, this is WearOs. If you guys have ever seen a WearOs device or you've played with one before, it kind of looks very similar. I mean, in terms of the interface, not much has changed with WearOs 3.5. That's something that I think Mobvoi could do a little bit more in terms of R&D. I think they could try and customize this and make it look a little bit more modern. The interface is kind of getting a little stale in my opinion, but it does provide you with all the necessary information that you would need. So you do get 24-hour monitoring of your health stats, and that's important to a lot of people. You also do get sleep tracking. You also do get a lot of nice watch faces, and I like watch faces, so you can really customize this and get a watch face that suits your needs and get a watch face that's going to look nice on your wrist. Opening up Mobvoi Health and creating your account is how you're going to have to connect this phone to your watch. And again, this is an area where while it doesn't look all that bad, it doesn't look as refined and it doesn't look as nice as some other wearables out there, but you do get access to a snapshot of all your necessary information here. So it is very useful in terms of giving you what you want to see at a glance. And clicking on any specific data point, you can separate it by day, by week, or even by month. So you can go in and see just how your heart rate was, for example, for the specific month that you're in. And going back to the day, you'll be able to see your highest, your lowest. If there's any sort of AFib alert, premature beat alert, and you can see your tachycardia or your bradycardia alert on the bottom. I have no idea what that means. I can probably look it up, but for you guys that are interested in that type of information, that's right here for you guys. So again, I think they do a nice job with doing a lot of health tracking on your wrist. Mobvoi has always done a nice job of giving you a lot of health information. A lot of people out there always tell me, hey Jabber, I just want a smartwatch. I don't need to track any exercise. I don't really do anything that requires any tracking. I just want a notification center on my wrist, and that's perfectly fine. But for those of you that do some sort of activity, the Ticwatch is most likely going to be able to track it with over 100 different exercises, 100 different activities. Whatever you're doing, you're going to be able to find that app that's going to be able to track it. And if you don't, you can always use the one that I like to use, which is called the Freestyle. It's just going to give you the vitals of whatever activity you're doing. And the Ticwatch does a nice job when it comes to GPS, and it does a nice job of tracking your heart rate. One of the coolest features that I've seen while working out with a smartwatch is here on the Ticwatch Pro 5, and it's the way that they integrate that dual layer technology screen into your workouts. And they do that by illuminating the entire screen with a different color that corresponds to your different heart rate zones. So flipping over your wrist, you're going to see your screen illuminate with that specific color, and at a glance you can quickly tell what zone you're in. And the watch is also more durable than ever, 810H rating, so it's more shock resistant, and you can also swim with it with that 5 ATMs rating as well. This is going to be able to handle any workout that you throw at it, whether you just want that notification center on your wrist or you want that health center on your wrist. Ticwatch is going to be able to provide you with whatever information you need. One area that Mobvoi does not need any improvement on, and they've always been one of the leaders in this category, that's battery life. And with one of the largest batteries that I've ever seen on a smartwatch and that I've tested on my wrist is right here in the Ticwatch Pro 5. It's a 628 milliamp hour battery. That's a huge plus to the Ticwatch Pro 5 here. I'm getting on average 3.5 to 4 days of usage, and that's using this as a smartwatch for notifications, taking a couple phone calls. I have all the monitoring enabled, so I'm checking my heart rate, I'm checking my stress, all that good stuff, and I'm still able to get 3.5 to 4 days. Now I'm sure you could stretch that out if you don't really activate that AMOLED display and you really just use this always on dual layer technology screen. But again, having a smartwatch is something that you want to have as a useful piece on your wrist. You are taking a lot of real estate, so you want to be able to use it, you want to be able to enjoy it. So sometimes people say, well, why don't you disable this and why don't you disable that? Well, I didn't buy a smartwatch to become a dumb watch. I want a smartwatch to be smart. I want a smartwatch to be colorful. I want a smartwatch to do what I want it to do when I want it to do it. And 3.5 to 4 days is something I've been really happy with. Of course, GPS or any type of excessive usage is going to drain that, and you can get a little bit less battery life. One gripe that I do have is the old school cable. I would like to see Mobvoi redefine the charging aspect of their Ticwatches. Now, while pogo pins are fine, and you do get quick charging on here, so if you plug it in for 30 minutes, you can go 0 to 65 real quick. And I've used that to top me up in a pinch. Even just 15 minutes will get you through the rest of the day, get you through your commute if you need a quick top up. But there's just something satisfying about wireless charging, and I think that's where Mobvoi's Ticwatch Pro 6 should kind of redefine itself, or at least give us a USB-C cable. I really don't have many USB-A chargers lying around, so connecting one of these adapters makes this a little bit comical when it comes to charging a watch. But if I'm only doing that every 4 days, that's something I can live with, at least until the next iteration. Other than battery life, the W5 Plus Gen 1 processor in here with that 2 GB of RAM make the Ticwatch Pro 5 a very, very snappy watch. There's never been an instance where I found this watch lagged or where it hasn't caught up with what I want it to do. Everything is very quick, everything is very smooth. That's something that you want in a smartwatch. You don't want something that's laggy, you don't want something that's really a pain to use. I think it does a nice job once again. I think Mobvoi did a nice job with optimizing the chip to their actual watch, to their hardware.
Thanks to the built-in mic and speakerphone, you can take phone calls from your wrist. You can even make phone calls from your wrist, dictate messages and replies to a chat. The microphone and speaker do a nice job in quieter environments. Again, this isn't going to work in loud New York City streets, but if you're at home chilling, you can definitely take a phone call and not have to phone. And speaking about home chilling, leave a like, leave a comment down below the channel, as that helps me out immensely.
The Ticwatch Pro 5 is a really great value, especially considering the price cut. Again, it's about $300. Check my link down below. It might even be a little bit cheaper. And I've always liked this dual layer technology screen. And with the new updated functionality, with the updated pages, with the updated look and design, I think the Ticwatch Pro 5 is one of the better values on the market right now. The large battery means you're not going to have to charge this up, and that's what I look for in a smartwatch. That's one of the reasons why I've always gone for the Ticwatch Pro 5 versus some of my other watches. I just don't want to charge it every other day. I got a lot of devices that I have to charge, and a smartwatch is not one that I want to add to the list. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions about it, let me know down in the comments below. But I really appreciate you watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you in another video.